So, what is going on, guys? Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Legacy United Leader Class Sandstorm. And Sandstorm here is a pretty intriguing figure, I guess. He's the typical Leader Class triple changer. Sandstorm is one of those guys I have to get. I'm obligated because he's one of my 4 that got me back to Transformers, so yeah, I went to buy him on Amazon. He was out of stock. They never did restock him. He's just been gone for like 6 months and never returned. Luckily, he showed up at a local Walmart, and, well, he was a Christmas gift. So that's why he took so long to get reviewed. But I've had him for a little bit now. And I think that this guy is really, really good. He's actually a really good triple changer, if I'm being honest. It's really strange to see one actually be this good, because he is pretty solid. He does have his issues, which one of them you're seeing, and you've probably already seen earlier, which was the chest piece. It likes to unpeg. For some reason, it's just never had the sturdiness that it's had out of the box ever again. I don't know why. There is like little pegs off to the side, but they just don't peg in, and it's just like it just pops off. So whenever you're going to move the arms, the chest typically will move because the arms are tighter than the actual connection. So that's just how that's going. The other thing is, yeah, he has this massive backpack, but unfortunately it's accurate. So is it really all that bad if it is accurate? He does actually have it. So I'm not going to count that as a knock, really. One thing I will say is I don't really like how the legs work with this giant panel here, and then it's just thin. It's just, I don't like it. I feel like the legs look like they're long, like wider than they are, but they're not. They just don't, like, fold in any other way. That's just how they sit. It's kind of a shame. As far as design and everything goes, I mean, he does look good. He's orange and black. Anything with black looks great, and, well, the orange looks awesome. He has 2 different tones, a kind of light, pure orange, and then kind of a red orange, which is nice. And, I mean, it does look good. I like how everything's kind of captured. He has wheels from the buggy mode, and he does have helicopter parts kind of in his backpack. And if you turn around, the propellers are there. So there is that. He comes with 2 accessories, well, 3 accessories. 2 guns, one of which being this tiny little pea shooter, and the other of which being this larger black rifle. Both are blast effect compatible. And his other accessory is this cage. This cage is wieldable, so you can give it to him underhand or overhand, however how. And it's kind of like you can use as a mace, but the thing you're probably noticing is, yes, they actually used rope. When's the last time they've had that in a mainline Transformer? It's been a while since we've had that. And it does reel in. You just got to spin the little orange part there, and it will go up. And there we go. There's just a little cage. Nothing goes in said cage. It's just a random little cage that he comes with, and he can use it. His head sculpt is another thing that was kind of a point of contention with this guy, because they did the toy head sculpt opposed to the animation head sculpt, when the body is apparently really heavily based off the animation. So it's a little weird. Will they do a second release with the correct head? I don't know. Honestly, I don't really care. I mean, I kind of wish it was the normal one, but I'm fine with the mouth blade head. It's a pretty cool looking head, honestly. I do like the look of it. It's kind of generic in a way. But that is basically that, other than his articulation, which is pretty solid. He does have a ball joint in the head, but it's very hard to get at because of this whole little canopy around it. Forward and back, bit blocked by the backpack. Outward, he does have a swivel, a double elbow joint, a wrist rotation. He does have a waist swivel, though it's not very good for posing, if I'm being honest. There's just too much going on down here. So you get like a little bit of space, and that's it. You get a forward kick, a backwards kick, outward swivel, a knee joint, a forward and back of the foot, and of course an inward ankle tilt. So pretty typical, honestly, except the double elbows. But he's a leader class. But the problem with him being leader class is he's not really leader class. He's Voyager sized. That's just how that goes at this point. He doesn't feel like he's not leader, though. At least in the modern sense. Obviously, the old leaders are towering above this guy. But, I mean, in the modern sense of a leader class, he has a lot of the engineering, and he has a good bit of mass, too. make me feel like he is a leader class. But he is a triple changer, so now we have to get into 2 alt forms. And we're going to first start with the Dune Buggy. The Dune Buggy's the easier of the 2 to get to. So first thing we're going to do, open up the arms, like so. And then you're going to just do that on the other side. Sometimes they like to open, sometimes they don't. You're then going to take his arms, and they just kind of scrunch in, like so. Next up, take his feet and lock them together. Just get the basic steps out of the way. Fold up the heels like that, and then fold the feet down. Leave that as so, and then, remember a bit ago when I said we don't have that step anymore? It's nice to see them bring it back, honestly. I know it's a step some people don't like, but I think it's kind of nice to see it again. I do like that step for some reason. I just find it satisfying. Next thing, though, fold out these little side panels here, like so. Leave them folded. Bada bing, bada boom. Make sure that's all pegged into place. Come up to the head here and then kind of work out this kind of gray section. Fold the head back, and then it will peg onto those little posts there. Like so. You're going to take the arms next and fold them down. Peg in that cockpit area. While you're at it, it just kind of pegs into the knees. And then these peg into the sides of those little panels. And here is the buggy mode, which, yeah, it's a buggy. I mean, there's not really a lot wrong with it. It certainly looks like a thing. It's kind of more sci-fi-ish, though, I find. And there is parts that you can use from this as well to do certain things to it. It's very minor. If I'm going to be honest with you, you basically can take the little winch in the top of the cage here, and that will just peg onto the top, like so. Just like that. And you'll get that roll bar, and then you get this down here, and this just kind of slots in underneath, like so. And there you go. Complete Dune Buggy mode. It looks good. It rolls really well because the tires are actually rubber, weirdly enough. I guess they had to put the money somewhere, didn't they? But he does have rubber tires, and again, rolls quite nicely in this mode. Very good. And I mean, it's really simple to get here. That's the shocking part, is how simple it is to get here. It just doesn't take long. It's really quick. The helicopter, though, in my opinion, more enjoyable to get to, so let's just get to that here. First thing, we're going to remove the winch and everything here, just like that. We're then going to take the arms, and we're going to unpeg them, fold them up like so. Just unpeg them from the side. Do that. Fold those contraptions back, but before you do that, just remove that base part there, and we're just going to put the cage back together, because it technically has a use. It has more of a use in the car mode than the helicopter mode, which is, I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's true. From here, take the arms, fold them out, and then take the legs and kind of fold them up a little bit, like so. Unpeg the Dune Buggy wheels, and they kind of fold around in a variety of ways. Take that one, fold it like that. Take this one, fold it around like this, and then kind of just fold it in like so. Take this section, move it out of the way, and have the wheels flipped around like so. The camera's a little tilting, and I'm worried it's going to fall. So we're just gonna fix that. There we go. There we go. Anyway, take him here, and then press the head in like that, so like it's going to robot mode, but not exactly. And from here, we're actually kind of done with the main part of the robot, which is a little crazy. Most of the helicopter is contained within the backpack. Just peg those into place. Next thing, come up to the backpack. There's these little tiny bits behind the wheels. Fold them down. You're then going to take the backpack parts and do that. Come up here, rotate these little parts around like so. Take this orange part, flip it off of the propeller, pull the propeller up, And then you're going to make sure you get them out and rotate them around. This whole section will come up and over the propellers. You have to get it hinged correctly because it has a double hinge. So if it's not hitting the double hinge, it won't clear the propellers. Take that little orange piece, fold that up. Take that, fold it down. Fold down that little back section. Come to the propellers and kind of just start undoing them. Whoa. Come on. Rotate. There we go. And then from there, you're just going to take the propellers, push down on it. And then the chest piece is causing me an issue here. What is going on with this chest piece? Uh-oh. Did I screw up somewhere? I may have. I don't think I did. Anyway, the next thing we're going to do is then fold these sections down, but I have to go in a kind of particular way and then repeg that arm because it came unpegged. And here we have the helicopter form. It is indeed a helicopter, and it's the better of the two alt modes, in my opinion. Oh, forgot a step, which is this little section back. I don't know why it's so pointed. But we have the helicopter, which does look great. It just is better, in my opinion. I know there's wheels hanging out the bottom, but, you know, that's just a thing that's going to happen with a triple changer. You can take the guns in this form and at least store them. The other one you can't really. The arms are there if you kind of want to store them underneath. It's like exhausts or something. The hook here goes on pretty easy. You just peg it onto the chest hole, and then you can have the little cage. So that works pretty good, in my opinion. Not really any issues with that. I think this looks pretty good. The propellers do rotate. The only thing is they're very, very easy to bend. You can see one of mine's kind of warped because of how thin they are. Am I a little rough with it? Maybe. But, hey, you know, I'm not... Imagine a kid if he had this thing. That it would just be... absolutely destroyed, I have a feeling, with these little thingies. They're just so thin and pliable. At least they feel like if they drop, it's not going to break. So at least there's that. And I mean, for the most part, the helicopter just looks great, in my opinion. I just has nothing more to say. It's an orange helicopter. It's very satisfying, and the transformation's kind of fun to get here. And that's pretty much it for Sandstorms. Let's just get to my final thoughts on him, which, honestly, he's pretty good. I like Sandstorm. I like him a lot. The propellers are giving me issues again. There we go. There's not really a lot wrong with Sandstorm, in my opinion. I think that he's a pretty solid toy. I mean, for a leader class triple changer, usually they have an issue. Usually, somewhere. But for him, he doesn't seem to have it. It's kind of weird, honestly, that he just doesn't seem to have the issues, like one of the alt forms being tremendously bad. He somehow avoided it. Both alt modes, in my opinion, are pretty solid. As much as I'm kind of iffy on the buggy mode, it's just because I don't really like it. It's just kind of a weird looking car, I guess. I don't think it's based off of anything. It's just kind of a sci-fi buggy. It's basically there just to be there. And that's kind of the oddity of it all. And here you can see the other step that's semi-annoying with these propellers, getting them in there. But as far as he goes, do I recommend trying to track him down? I think I would. I just like this guy a lot. Now, is it because I have a slight bias to Sandstorm? Kind of, maybe, but I think he is really, really solid. I can't find any, like, valid criticisms other than the chest piece. Other than the chest piece, which is the most valid thing, because it's not just my figure that suffers from this. I've seen reviews of the guy, and they've all had this issue with the chest piece. It just does not peg into place solid like it should. It needs to go in and have another connection, maybe. That might be how you fix it, with like another peg or something, but it just doesn't work. Either that or the peg on the chest is just too thin as it is. But as it stands, I think he's great. I think I'd give him a 4.5 out of 5. His helicopter mode blatantly is really good. His robot is accurate and does look pretty good. And I mean, his accessories are all right, if I'm being honest. The mace is a little more questionable, or the cage. It's just a little questionable, you know? It's certainly a cage. It's cool, I guess, if you're looking for it, but honestly, he is a recommend, honestly. I think he's pretty good. Legacy United did quite good with their leader classes, in my opinion. So there's not really any complaints here. And we're actually coming up on the end of Legacy as a whole, which is crazy. I never really talked about them revealing the new Prime stuff. Looked pretty good. I'm probably going to get all the Primes. I don't know about everybody else. I don't think I'm going to end up getting Armada Red Alert. Maybe. Probably not. I'm probably just going to end up getting Solus and Prima and Megatronus, of course. I'm going to have to get him. He looks sick. But that is really it for this review. This has been our review of Legacy United Sandstorm. This has been Out Elite signing out. And soon enough, we'll have the video of the top 10 figures of the year. It might be 2, though. I might do one for Figuarts and Transformers. But that's all. Goodbye now.